Hi, it's Nicole DeRobertis. I'm going to show you a little bit more about adding materials. So I'm going to go to my reading folder, which brings me inside my folder, and I'm going to add some materials. So first I'm going to add an assignment, and I'm going to label it our reading log. And I'm going to write down that I want them to read a book for 20 minutes and that these are the questions I would like them to focus on. Now, if you copy and paste, obviously you can see from mine, it messes up the format. So you just have to make sure that it says exactly what you want before you post it. Also, if you post it and there is a problem, you can always go back and edit things. So I'm going to put a random due date. I'm going to say this is homework, and I'm going to create it. And it should pop right up. Next, I'm going to focus on adding a test or quiz. Now, if you add this, it doesn't have to be a test or quiz. You could still assign it as homework if you have your gradebook set up. So I'm going to label this drawing conclusions. I'm going to have it be due on the 12th. I'm going to have it as a homework assignment. The nice thing about Schoology is you can individually assign assignments. So if you have students that are maybe excelling and you want to give them harder conclusions, you can assign them harder ones. You can assign other students easier ones if they're a little bit below grade level. I don't have students, so I can't really assign it, but that is a nice feature that Schoology does have. So I'm going to create it, and then we're going to move on to adding our questions. So the nice thing about Schoology is you can add your own questions and change your settings and also preview it just how your students will see it. So if any formatting gets messed up, you'll be able to see it before your students go on and complain. So we're going to add a question. I am actually just going to add in text right now because I want them to read a passage first. And so I did have to adjust my text, so I did pause the video just so you can see it. So this is what I want them to read, and then I want them to answer questions about this. So I'm going to create text. And as you can see, it is a little different than when I put it in, which is fine. And now I'm going to add a question about it. So add question. I want my first question to be multiple choice. So you have a space to write your question, and then you can put your options in. So my first question is, what figurative language is used in this story? I have metaphor, onomatopoeia, simile, and personification, and onomatopoeia is used. So I'm going to check that as my correct answer. I can then add more multiple choice questions right away, or I can look at my options and just create this question and choose another style of question. So you can have random choices. You can have this question timed. I'm not going to. And you can assign the points. So I'm going to say that this is 5 points. And once again, you can always add the standards that it aligns with. So I'm going to create my question. So then you see the text is still up here. And my first question is here. So I'm going to add another question, and I want it to be a short response. So my first short answer response is going to be type the sentence where you found figurative language in use. That is use in use. And you can have a limited characters. You can allow enriched text answers. You can time the question once again. For me, I'm going to have this be 2 points. And you can create a rubric to add. I'm not going to. So I would create my question there. All right, so I have my 2 questions so far. More options you have of adding questions. You can add true, false. You can add multiple choice or ordering. You can add fill in the blanks and matching. So you have a ton of options here. I'm going to just show you the settings really quick. In your settings, you can change your time. You can do random orders. Play around with those settings. And that's it for this video. I hope you found it useful.